everybody, welcome to Vlogmas Day 22. So Libby was jealous and wanted to make a snowman. Well, then you tell them. She wants to make a snowman for her boss and friend. So we're going to make snowmen again like I made with Emmett and Lane, and tell some stories.
You're on your own.
No, you're on your own, man. I'm not a storyteller. You are.
I'm not jealous, but you are.
Who's jealous of your storytelling?
No, of your snowman.
I like my snowman.
Yeah, you said I was jealous.
Oh, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. The dogs decided to eat like a second before I hit record. All right. So you're going to have a sock.
I have a sock.
And you're going to, like, how big do you want your body? How big do you want your head?
Wait. There's a body.
You're going to have a huge body.
Okay, there's a body.
Okay. And then there's a head.
And then there's a head.
And then you're going to cut. This is going to be the top of your hat.
This is?
Yeah.
Cool. Pink and purple.
We got our mugs of rice. You can just put your hat aside for now.
Mine's crooked.
So is mine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
The hat goes over it. You're going to put your little body over the cup and pour. We might need more rice. Freaking me out. Stop sniffing around over there. Anywhere. You guys are only allowed to sniff where I've seen you sniff before.
And you need to stand up.
Oh, I will not cut it.
What do you mean?
That out of the video. I know. Hi, Otis.
I thought you meant you were going to cut one.
Oh my God. Oh, Emmett. She's gonna get me back.
With what?
Babe,
What?
you're gonna hit me in the face.
I didn't. Remember when I hit you in the face with the money bag in Las Vegas?
No.
When we
Oh, yes, the pretend money bag. So now, I'm trying to make it round.
That's round.
Yeah? So do you want that to be your body, or do you want more filling in there? What do you think?
I don't know. It needs more filling because or else it's too many buttons.
Yeah. But we use little buttons compared to what you're using.
So I just stick this in there?
Yeah.
Does it make it floppy?
Well, what we learned is that you don't want a thin scarf. You want a thick scarf. Because Lane's neck, can you see it over there?
Yeah.
She is looking for Jesus.
No, to the Northern Star.
The Northern Star.
Or is it the Eastern Star? Which star is it for the nativity scene? We three kings of Oriental, westward leading, still proceed.
So is it west?
I guess. Guide us to the... Okay, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, that is like an elf snowball right there.
Yeah.
It's our favorite movie. Can you tell? We watch it way too often. Actually, we don't watch it enough anymore. We used to watch it way too often. Okay, so over there somewhere is a spool of thread.
Right here?
Oh, cool. Okay. So you want to take a piece of thread and tie off your body.
So this is my body,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think I need some more. If it's not a plump snowman, it's that snowman in Frozen.
What was his name? Was it Olaf?
Yeah,
it's Olaf, the
Olaf.
snowman.
Yeah, he's a skinny old man. Okay, I think that's good enough. Oh. What is it?
I don't know. Just when they dig at areas I've never seen them dig anymore at before, I think critters. Guys, we're having a, what's it called? A tundra? What's it called out there? It's like supposed to drop to, let me tell you what the temperature is outside. Three degrees.
Okay, now what happens?
So now, I twisted it to tie it, but it untwists, so I don't know if it matters. You get a piece of thread. Come on, sir.
He's kind of high maintenance.
You think?
I think he takes after somebody.
That's why we're the perfect match.
Why?
Because we're both high maintenance.
You and Otis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought I meant you and me? I don't know how that happened. Otis, you gonna eat is it the rice you're finding? Or is it the sock? What is it you're finding? So, I gotta be able to do this, boy.
You're going to have to let him go.
It's not even funny.
I didn't mean let him go, let him go. I just mean let him down.
Let him go, let him go.
Let it go.
Are you an it, Otis? Oh,
No, from Olaf. I mean, Frozen. Let it go.
I know.
I don't know how it goes.
All right, now you want to use the polyfill to fill your head.
Sure am pleased to hear it's polyfill and not rocks. Like some?
I haven't gotten this tied yet.
How do I know if it's tied well enough?
It doesn't matter. It's not going to leak or anything.
No, but you know, bobblehead.
Well, that's just a given.
Okay, how much do you need?
How big do you want your head to be?
I think that's about good enough. Don't you?
Yeah.
And then do you just tie a knot?
Uh-huh. Will you tie my knot?
Yeah.
I didn't have this much trouble in the last one. You were going to tell a story about your mom, I thought.
No, you said there were funny stories to tell about my mother.
You said we should tell stories about our parents.
Yeah, I did not say my mother. You said there were funny stories to tell about my mother.
Yeah, because your mom was funny.
So tell one.
Well, she always made up her own songs.
Mm. And Sue thinks she's a ghost in our house. And also, sometimes when we smell pancakes, I think it's the ghost of of Gigi, our dog, when I was a kid, because my mother, when she made pancakes, Gigi would sit on the chair right by the stove and watch. And she would get, not only would she get pancakes, she got them with butter and syrup. Yeah. And so sometimes when I smell pancakes and there aren't pancakes, I think Gigi's visiting. She was a good dog. I did not name her. None of us did. When we got her, that was her name. Gigi. We would not have named her. My grandmother called her Fifi.
But she was a poodle, right?
Yeah, she was a poodle.
That seems like a poodle name.
So, you know, it's Christmas time, and my mother, it seems like almost every Christmas Eve I can remember, after we all knew there wasn't a Santa Claus, because my folks didn't have to go to somebody's house to get the presents they'd hidden. My mother would have a party, and it was always the same people. It would make Mexican food, and we had this big sideboard. She put all the food on it, and we Christmas Eve night, Christmas Eve, I guess, Eve and night are repetitive. We would all eat, and then we would have, my mother called them Mexican Sundays, and it was vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce that she put Red Hots in, and that would be our dessert. And when all was said and done, there were 5 of us, 7 Shoals, 5 Smiths, and 5 Huggins. So how many is that? 22?
Yeah.
In this house. There would be 22 of us. And after we would finish eating, we would read the best Christmas pageant ever. And that was my mother's very favorite Christmas story. And then when I became an adult, I learned the Cactus Christmas song, and I sang it to my mother once, and I can't ever remember all the words.
You have it right there.
I won't sing it unless you sing it with me.
I don't know it.
If the words
I am not singing.
Okay. And so I sang that song to my mother once, and she liked it so very much that I made this for her for Christmas. So I made it for her.
No.
I think it didn't have the frame though. And she lost it. Really and truly, I didn't make this song for her. It was already written. And when my mother liked it so much, I listened to it over and over and over again to write down all the words so I'd get it correct. And then I gave the words to Sue, and I asked her to find a cactus to put on it. And she actually made this. And see, there's a cactus. There's a cactus. Anyway, so every year I'd sing that song to my mother, and then she's been gone 6 years now, December 14th, and the morning of the day that she died, I went to see her, and I had been reading to her from, I would read Are You My Mother by P.D. Eastman, because that's the very first book I ever learned how to read. And I would read Best Christmas Pageant Ever. And also, she really, really enjoyed an author who wrote books about New Mexico, Dorothy Pillsbury. And so I would read to her from those books like Star Over Adobe and No High Adobe. Anyway, the last morning I was with her, I read Are You My Mother and all of Best Christmas Pageant Ever. And then I sang Cactus Christmas Tree to her. And I told her that I would give anything to get to go antiquing with her one more time. And then I kissed her for the last time in her lifetime. And the last time I kissed her in my lifetime. But anyway, I think this was supposed to be funny. So I guess I better make it funny. So would you please sing Cactus Christmas?
No.
We'll get copyrighted, right?
Yeah.
I can't sing it?
No.
Okay. I can't sing it. But all the animals down in Texas were as sad as they could be, because Christmas Day was on its way and they had no Christmas tree. And then they get a Christmas tree. And I don't know, my mother just really liked that song. I think I still miss my mother a lot. She haunts Sue, so it's okay.
So you guys, she loved this house. Loved this house. And used to always tell me, like she would tell us she wasn't going to leave. Like she'd come visit and say she wasn't going to leave and all of these things.
She was going to spend the night.
Yeah. And she wished she never moved out and just all sorts of things like that. And that I didn't know how to keep it clean.
That wasn't my fault.
And then
she was always telling us we needed to paint the walls.
no, I said we needed to paint the walls. And she told me, well, if you knew how to clean them.
Oh, dear.
It's like, they haven't been painted in like 50 some years, but I don't know. Anyway, so when Libby's dad passed away, we had him here in hospice. So he died in our house. And that's when it really started. When the dogs started barking out the doorway or when you would when you stayed at the hospital with him, Otis and Jake would just stand up in bed and start barking out in the hallway. And I'd freak out because what? And then I could smell her sometimes. Just like, but like in passing, not.
Which smell?
Like their house.
Oh.
Not.
Well,
Like, you know how people have their own
fragrance.
fragrances. It wasn't bad. I'm not saying she stunk or anything, but especially when he was here, there were definitely things that happened. I can't remember anything except the dogs like barking at something there, but things happened. I know they did.
Was here when the pandemic started. He lived through the first year of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And we were so fortunate because we weren't allowed to go inside to see him where he lived at Harvard Square. So we would go to his window and we celebrated every birthday, his birthday, Sarah's birthday, my birthday, my mother's birthday, by that window. And the weather was good enough that we were able to have Thanksgiving and Christmas by that window. So like when we would take my dad food, Sarah and we'd all taken food, and we just have to leave it kind of like there was what is that?
Foyer?
Yeah, foyer, and we would leave the food there, and the people at the front desk knew who we were, so they knew who the food was for or whatever it was. So he unwrapped Christmas presents by that window his last Christmas, and his last Christmas Sue made him an Advent poster. Oh my gosh, and he loved chocolate. So there were candy bars,
cards.
Yeah, he played solitaire all the time.
What else? It was a lot of chocolate.
Anyway,
cakes, like Hostess cakes.
Yeah. So and I would go sit by the window and ask him, "Did you open up?" And he would say yes. But when we went in there was a lot of unopened candy.
No, it was all open, but he still had the poster by the window.
Oh, yeah, he still had the poster by the window.
And that was almost a whole year later, wasn't it?
No, because he died in April.
Oh, okay.
So our last Christmas was in 2020. With my dad.
You better start working. I haven't.
And the day right before the day, I didn't know we were going to shut down the very next day. But then the night before we shut down for the pandemic, I asked my dad if he wanted to come live with us because we knew that it was supposed to shut down. And he was so reasonable and so dear. He just said, "Libby, people know how to take care of me here. And people know how to find me here." And it never occurred to us that it would be over a year that anybody would even be allowed into the facility. But people came and sat by his window just like we did and talked and would talk to him. And in the summer when it wasn't so cold, we could schedule time to meet him outside. I don't even know how to put the hat on.
It's very easy.
Just like this?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, just like you would a hat. And then you tie it.
Now, look at how floppy it is.
I know, but look.
Oh, okay. Could I have,
thread?
I think I need a red and gray scarf.
Libby's dad, right before he passed away, we were telling the nurse or CNA about how he took us traveling the world. He took us to Alaska
In Canada?
and England
In
Norway and Iceland. And it was tough sometimes. The second trip we landed in England and he was 100% in a wheelchair. And we did 2 weeks. 1 week of a cruise and then 1 week in Iceland. And it was a lot of work. And there were times that I jokingly said I wanted to push him into the ocean. And Libby told him that. In his dying breath. He giggled and
so did we.
Took his last breath. Yeah, it was so. But we have some great memories from those trips. And very, very lucky
I'll tell you a funny story about those trips. So, we like going when I don't know how to describe a ship, but we were always at the very back of the ship on the 2 times we went. I always give me a break. So there was not a balcony, but deck.
It's a balcony.
Okay, so it was so much fun because could sit out on the balcony and watch the current from the ship's motor, right? But you had to go down a really long hallway, and so I would push my dad down the hallway, and I would push him up the hallway. Then we'd get to the elevator, and Sue would take over
because Libby could not push straight.
I could push straight. I just pushed into people. Anyway, so I was always calling my dad Dad, and Sue would be saying John, and people thought Sue was his wife.
Yes, they did.
And I was the daughter.
Yeah, they did.
They did, Otis. It was so funny because, it embarrassed Sue. And I always want to say, hey, Mom. I never did, not once. Not once. Because if I had, she would have rolled me over the side. She would have pushed me right over the side. And she wouldn't have said anything about anyone going overboard. She would have just pushed me off the balcony.
Right.
My dad was a sport.
So was I.
So was I.
We did really well together. You did most of the work, but when you got to your wit's end, I knew when to hop right in. There were certain things you just, I'm right here, Jake. Oh, you do need a sweater. You're getting cold, huh? Yeah.
Certain things, what?
I had to do. You couldn't. There were certain things that I just had to do.
Well, I couldn't be his wife.
Me either. No, but like his compression socks and...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would try. I wasn't tall enough was part of the issue.
Yeah.
Oh.
And sometimes he'd forget to say please and thank you.
That was a pet peeve for me now.
Or he'd just point at my plate and say, give me that. And be on my plate. Be like, here you go. And I'd just look at Libby and she'd go, I'll be right back.
And now, if I don't say please or thank you, they call me John. And I get the message. Aw, that's kind of cute.
Oh, that is cute.
I still got to decorate the hat.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, she still flops a lot.
Yeah, but not a lot. Libby, Emmett and I went out to visit my dad and mom when my dad had been diagnosed with cancer. And we had a wonderful trip. And he took us to Joshua Tree, just the desert. And we got so lost. Remember that? But he could always find his way home.
He sure could, but he should sure get mad too.
Yep.
But you know what
Never
else?
at you.
Never at me. We also, though, had so much fun. Like, he would take, like, that day that we went to...
Joshua Tree?
Yeah, to Joshua Tree, we had apple pie.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. And then one day...
That was in Julian.
Yeah, one day after we'd finished eating dinner, Jay said, would you like to go get some yogurt? And Glow was a little unhappy with him, but she was going to play bridge. Oh my gosh, we went to get yogurt. He was so generous. He got this huge yogurt, and he was like, I wanted one that big too, but I was pretty sure I wouldn't finish it, so I didn't get one that big.
Well, and it wasn't like you say yogurt like it's healthy, but it's, the froyo where you get all the toppings. Like he would buy a $10 one. It was so big and full.
Yeah,
because it would be by weight.
And so like that day he said something about going to get yogurt, and Emmett said he wanted Cold Stone. Jay was such a sport. He said, we can do both. Glow was not pleased.
No, but that's what he was known for. He always disappeared with the kids, with his grandkids, and he'd take them to get ice cream. But he'd also work in the yard with them all day, too. It wasn't like, and he'd take them to the beach. And
he had an orchard. It was beautiful. And you could see the ocean from the
top of the
hill of the orchard. He had grapefruit and oranges and
lemons and limes and pomegranate.
Yeah, and something happened to the hot tub. I can't remember what happened, but Sue said, tell him you did it. He won't get mad if you tell him you did it.
I always tried to get you to take blame for things.
I didn't tell him I did it because I didn't.
Tell another story about your mom.
My mother was very playful. When I was a child, she was quite adept at making childhood fun. And she had ideas that she would follow through with that. Angered my father. Now, something that did not anger my father was the day the three, Sarah, Jetta, and I took her outside and we were teaching her how to bat. And I don't know. That's perfect. I pitched the ball to her. It was a tennis ball. She took a swing, and that ball went sailing right into the neighbor's gutter and stuck. So, in backyard baseball, that would have been a home run because we couldn't get the ball. And it's certainly as good as hitting it over the fence. Her very first swing, she did that. Something that did kind of, some events did upset my father. One time we had a campfire in the backyard. On the ground, not like a fire pit. Oh, he was a little bit angry about that. Another time it was raining really hard. And she took us outside to splash in the puddles. And when I came in, my dad said, your mother needs to grow up. Another time, my dad worked. He was a teacher, and he was a consultant, and he was a principal. But he also worked in the summer, like he would be the principal at summer school. And he would come home for lunch. And one day he came home for lunch to find the three of us on the roof having a picnic. He was angry.
3 kids?
Yeah, he was angry at my mother about that too.
I think that's brilliant.
We had a table up there and chairs and our lunch.
And she got you out of her hair.
And we didn't push anybody off.
That was good.
My mother was really playful. One time I was home from college, and the neighbors, it was the Clarks, Sue and had a little guy named Dan, and he was 2. And I came home, and my mother, I don't even remember what she was teaching him, But they were in the kitchen having a fine old time. And I remember thinking, if I ever have children, I will never leave her alone with them. I don't even remember what she was teaching them.
Oh dear.
Yep. The neighbor children really liked. She was the witch of Salem Street, and she used to tell the kids that she did not ride a broom, she drove a vacuum cleaner.
He is cute. She is cute. Look at her.
I'm going to take a picture because I like her.
Yeah. All right, guys. We finished. Aren't they cute?
I'm kind of proud of us.
I am too. So, I wish my scarf was longer, but my felt wasn't very long. But she has beautiful buttons. Look at the detail in those buttons. And look at her sparkly eyes. And her carrot nose, and she does not have a mouth. Now yours. Beautiful buttons. And a pencil nose.
Purple with red.
Oh dear. How much bigger your head is. It's
I know,
totally
but
opposite of us.
Yeah, and look at how much bigger your body is.
Come on. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And Otis, we hope you have a wonderful evening and
Merry Vlogmas.
Merry Vlogmas. Day 22. Remember, don't get stressed out. Enjoy the season and family and friends, and don't let the season get you stressed.
Come here, buddy. You want to say hey? Come on.
Jake wants to say hey.
Say Merry Vlogmas.
Merry Vlogmas. I'm tired of this Vlogmas. Except for Advent. I like Advent. I get toys and treats. Lots of toys and treats. Otis is like, I just get carrots. I like carrots. I am vegetarian and I don't play with toys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's Advent time. Look, there's already fluff all over the floor. But Otis, did you take fluff by your bed, making you look like the guilty one? You gonna do Advent? Otis, you gonna do Advent? Oh, he's so tired. He's so tired, big stretch. What day are we on?
21, right? 22?
22. Yeah, 22. Sitting so nice. You puppies are sitting so nice waiting. What do we have today? Those are my faves. Oh, is it the mixture?
Mm-hmm.
Snowman, Christmas trees, stars. Oh, piece of paper. Those are cute, huh?
Yeah.
They really do have a cool pan that they bake them in, I think. Yesterday I sprinkled this all in the camera. Good sits. Oh, he really trusts you today. He just stayed right there. Do you have socks on today? Oh man, that's okay. We trust that you have them. Oh, the mouse. Come on. You got carrot? You get a treat. Excuse me. All done. Happy Advent. There you go.
Merry Vlogmas.
Merry Vlogmas. Day 22. Have a great day. Stay safe and don't stress. We're almost there. Bonus video. Libby wanted me to pan and show you that she got rid of all the presents that she had to deliver. She spent all day yesterday. She didn't come home until the polar vortex had begun. And then here, you can barely see our tree anymore. Our presents. And there's the mess from last night.